morning, Kalimera. Joining us today is celebrity numerologist Julian Michael. In addition to his role as a renowned numerology life coach, Julian's expertise, including being a hypnotherapist, Reiki master, past life regressionist, and writer, he has guided thousands in the creation and materialization of gaining their heart's desires. Ladies and gentlemen, Julian Michael is in New York in our studios. Hello, Julian.
Yasu, Yanna, Kalimera. Ooh la la.
Listen, I know Julian for many years. We met in Greece, and he was brought on to Rula Koromila's morning show.
Yes.
He's a celebrity numerologist. So we're going to talk a little bit about your experience in Greece.
Right.
And
Love
the philosophy and the, I guess, brotherhood of Pythagoras, who studied and taught numerology, the numbers of the universe. So let's begin with the Hellenic part of this, which is numerology.
Yes, it's a science.
Correct.
The father of numerology is the father of mathematics, Pythagoras. And he said everything in the universe is number, and that number has a meaning, has a language, has a consciousness. So Pythagoras was born in 550 BC in Crotone, in Greece, yes? What's interesting about that whole story is the fact that before he was born, his parents went to Pythia.
In Delphi.
Who was the oracle.
Yeah.
And the oracle looked at the woman and said, "You're pregnant." She didn't even know she was pregnant. And then Pythia said, "He will be a great man, a great teacher, and he'll be known all over the world." And then she said, "And you will call him Pythagoras."
Because after Pythia.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah. And Pythia means enlightenment. It means prophetess, right?
So was Pythagoras a prophet, or was he? I mean, I read that he was.
He was called the Christos when he was born.
Oh.
Yes. So he was
tell
already
us about Pythagoras.
enlightened in his own way, and he traveled, as Jesus did as well. All these avatars, they have their own means of traveling on ships. So Pythagoras traveled, and he studied in different schools, different mystery schools, and he came back, and he was also a musician, as well as not only a philosopher, but a mystic, mathematician. And he had his own mystery schools when he was in his 60s, and he went to Italy.
Syracuse. Well, back then it was a Greek state, so Syracuse was back then a Hellenic state.
Yeah. And that's where he was teaching the mysteries.
That's where his brotherhood was.
Yes, exactly.
Well, we know that the Greek language was based on numbers. So A has a number system. A, B, all the Greek letters, alpha, beta, gamma, delta, they coincide with numbers. And numbers, according to to science and to the great masters, of course, as you put it, have a magical meaning.
Yes.
So tell us about what you do with numbers.
Well, I take people's names at birth dates, the name that they use now, and I tell them about themselves. I tell them why they're here. I tell them their hearts and soul's desire, their persona, their destiny, motivation in life. The birth date that a person is born, I see it as a PIN number. We have PIN numbers to bank accounts, we have PIN numbers to computers.
And we have numbers to our life.
To our soul's account.
To our soul's account.
Exactly.
Oh, I see.
Month, day, and year. And those three energies create the fourth energy, which is your main energy. And this PIN number, it purports your opportunities, your talents, your lessons, your challenges, what's happened to you in your life path, this year, this month, this day. Everything is there.
And this is all ancient Greek philosophy.
Yes.
It's ancient Greek mysticism.
Yes. Also, it's connected with music, where each and every letter is connected with a note, because Pythagoras was also a musician.
The Orphic mysteries.
Exactly.
From Orpheus.
And he used to sing with his lyre. He used to sing and play. And in graduating, people's graduation, because they were not allowed to speak for 5 years on the grounds of the school. And on the last night, the great master would come to you with a board, and then he would show you a triangle or a number, and then he would say, tomorrow you will tell me everything you know about this number. And
Number
that's the
or
first
symbol?
time,
Is it a
symbol, number,
Okay.
consciousness, whatever it is. And you would be in front of the great master for the first time in 5 years.
To talk.
Speaking.
And what was this training for?
This is training
Esoteric training, like the monks do.
Exactly.
They go into...
To go into the deepest part of your soul. If you're a 7, from your birth date,
yes,
he saw 7s as already the adepts. The 7s already understand the language of the soul. And not only were you allowed to speak, but you were at the right side of Pythagoras, and you were also allowed to teach
now
as a 7.
They said that Pythagoras had found a star child on one of his travels, and he took him and raised him, and he was the one who was, they say, they don't know, but he would prophesize for him. Is that true?
Well, you always have oracles around great leaders. You have astrologers, you have mystics.
As a guidance?
Yes, I met Dalai Lama's oracle when I was in Los Angeles.
Oh, wow.
So they always can guide the person on even a deeper level of what's going on. As we all have oracles.
Yes, well,
as I'm an oracle, you're an oracle, we're all oracles.
We are? Oh my God.
Yes.
Well, I have a spiritual father from our Greek Orthodox religion. He
There you go.
guides me, but we do
Yeah.
all need guides. This is true.
Yes.
This is true. So let's talk about some of the celebrities that you've done, because you've helped you work with a lot of celebrities. So let's
Yes.
go back to Greece. So Julian
Okay.
Michael, here he is in Greece. We brought him to one of the biggest shows of Greece,
That's right.
Rula Koromila's morning show. And Rula was very impressed by him because he did her numbers.
And I
How was that
remember,
experience?
well, it was fabulous because here was this very conservative Greek woman. And I looked at her and I did her numbers and I said, I see you dressed up. I see you fashionable. I see you with fishnet stockings. I see you with a whole different look. And the next day, she came out like that. And it was fabulous because in experiencing that for herself, embracing this new way, she totally opened up in a totally different way.
Interesting.
Yes. And that's what the numbers do, because it shows you talents, opportunities, and challenges.
That might be hidden?
That are hidden, exactly. Right. Because we all have these talents, and sometimes we're a little shy, we're a little afraid. It's like,
Come out.
I'm not ready yet. And then they meet someone like myself, and I say, it's time. Let's do it.
And when they're ready, you come. You just show up.
Exactly. When the student is ready, the teacher comes.
Oh my God, that's so interesting. So he has read for the Kennedys. He has read for Eddie Murphy. He has read for another avatar, The Mask, I call
Jim
him.
Carrey.
Jim Carrey. Let's talk about these characters.
Yes.
How was it reading for them? You read for Jennifer Lopez. You read for Leonardo DiCaprio's family. How interesting is that to meet these celebrities and give them an insight on what's going on with their life?
Well, you have a certain amount of time when you're with these individuals. Sometimes it's an hour, sometimes it's a half hour, sometimes it's 5 minutes, sometimes it's a minute. And what I've learned is go right into the heart, go deep into the heart.
Do they show? Are they revealing what they really are? You've met them.
Yes.
Did you?
They're very normal. They're like you and I.
They're people.
They're people. Yeah.
They're just actors. We see them on the big screen.
Yeah, they're fabulous people who also I awaken a different way for them to look at themselves as well as life. So it's an interesting way of of seeing the multidimensionalness of the individual and know that they're doing the right thing. They're making a difference. So I meet people to optimize them, to bring them to another level of themselves, and also congratulating them, empowering them, and taking them to another chapter.
So as a life coach, what is it that people are doing wrong that is not allowing them to get to the next level? I mean, from your experience.
Stress, anxiety, fear.
Fear, stress, anxiety of themselves, life.
It could be anything.
What inhibits?
Everything.
What's inhibiting someone from becoming their true self?
Usually something that has happened in the past, and that's also why I'm also a hypnotherapist.
Tell us about that.
Well, let's say that you have a certain shyness, or it's difficult for you to speak to people, and yet you get regressed, and as a child, you're in front of the teacher, and you're 5 years old, 6 years old, and you're in front of the class, and the teacher chooses you, and you don't know the answer, and you're a little girl or a little boy, and you're
scared.
You get shut down, and you're scared because it's normal.
Of course.
And all of a sudden, the teacher comes up to you and says, "Aren't you paying attention?
Right.
Aren't you paying attention?"
And that causes a huge scar.
I want you, Julian, and this happened to me. Julian, I want you to go into that corner, and this is when we still had this kind of behaviorism,
right,
and wear this hat.
Oh, was it a wizard hat? Because you became a
wizard. It was a dunce hat, yes. And little did she know that she was already training me as a magician.
On that note, what made you get involved in this? I mean, how did you follow your life's path? How did you get to this point to study and follow this career path?
Well, I had so many.
Who was your life coach?
Oh my God. Well, I was born Greek Catholic of the Byzantine Rite, high Orthodox Catholic. So every Sunday, my grandfather, my sister, and I would go to church, and he was part of the choir. So I would hear this very deep voice when he sang, all that.
You have it too. I don't know if you realize it.
I got that too. Yeah, and that was my connection with the church and with Jesus and all that. And then I had visions where, if you want to hear this, I was praying when I was 7 years old, and every night I would say the Lord's Prayer and the prayer to the angels, and as well as a prayer to Mother Mary. And all of a sudden I had a vision that Jesus was in front of me sitting in a yoga position.
Oh, wow.
And I looked at him and I said, "I always see you at church on the cross. What are you doing here?" And he just didn't say anything. He just smiled. And then I realized there was more to Jesus than I knew, and I was on a journey.
At 7 years old.
At 7 years old, to find out who Jesus was.
That's amazing.
Yes. And then I had other experiences and stuff like that. And eventually I was an altar boy, and I was going to be a priest. And my priest here in New York, he took the other altar boys to a football game, Jet game, and pizza. And he was a young, amazing, wise, beautiful priest. And he died suddenly of a heart attack. I didn't walk into a church. I didn't want to do anything with God. I was angry at God for years. And then I even got a little skeptical because I kept on hearing about Jesus Christ and his miracles and all that. And I said, I want to know how he does it. And
how he saves people?
How he does the miracles, where he learned, what happened.
So you can save your friends and people you love?
Not only that, but also the fact that I want to know his secrets. And that's when I discovered the 30 some odd years that he lived and the times that he went to Egypt and he went here and there. And I discovered that these avatars, they have learned in mystery schools. And there's mystery schools all over. And these special beings who come from unconditional love, who make a difference, that they not only have been taught in these schools, but they've gone through whatever they've gone through, as Pythagoras has as well, to do what they're here to do.
That's a fascinating philosophy, Julian, and you're a beautiful person. You're full of light, and you have
Thank
helped
you.
many people, and I can attest to that because I've witnessed a lot of people that have come to you. And you consider yourself a therapist, which is wonderful, and a soul mathematician, because you find out you're dealing with the numbers of the soul.
Yes.
New Age is definitely here in a very big way. I think people are turning much close, and they're becoming closer to their spirituality. They're getting involved with the church. They're getting involved with finding out more about themselves. They're becoming more spiritual, and I think that there is more of a cognitive. There's an opening, more of a. I'm trying to find the right words. People are searching for knowledge of spirituality.
Because of everything that's going on, it seems like everything is exploding all around us. But it's all good because it's all about change. And change is very important for us to continue in this new paradigm that's taking place.
From all the people that you've met, some of the celebrities, who could you tell us a little bit about? Tell us about one celebrity that kind of left us suddenly was Philip Seymour Hoffman, which I think was an amazing actor.
Wow. Well, and it's interesting because I've never met him, and yet I have a newsletter that goes out every month, and I was writing about him because I did his numerology because he touched me so much as just as a human being, because his acting was so just phenomenal. And then I'm doing his numerology, and I realize, oh my God, he has the vibration of the teacher of teachers, the 33-6. The Christ consciousness. He has that vibration of shape-shifting. So that's why he became such an amazing actor, because he was able to step into the character, and he became that character. And he really didn't understand and know what the process was. He didn't have the people around him probably to say, hey, Seymour, you're a medium. You're a person who is in between worlds. That's why you're so sensitive. That's why you're so amazing. So he took upon...
So instead of getting into spirituality, he got involved in drugs.
Exactly. And then he found the enablers, the people around him who were doing that. And that happens in all walks of life, is when you're not open. And I always ask people to be open to the what if. I've spoken to CEOs, top professionals all over the world, and I always ask them, before I even start speaking, I ask them, say, you're going to hear some very interesting, different things in the next hour. And whatever you listen to, I just want you to be open to the what if. The what if. And then that's it. They're open, and then they can hear about anything and everything. So Seymour, he deserved to be open to the what if, because he was an extraordinary actor, person who I feel also is still communicating from the other side, because he's already, as I've heard in some stories and people I've talked to, that he's already helping people in their techniques, in their acting, coming into dreams and stuff like that.
Julian, it's amazing. I mean, you know, congratulations for helping people. What is your message for people watching us? What is it that you would like to tell them?
Pray, meditate, find the time for yourself, away from everything and everyone, because silence is golden. And it's very important to connect with the God within, with your angels, with your guides, with your inner voice, and come from that place of power. So then you can deal with whatever is happening to you during that day. That's your greatest tool, is to understand how to quiet the mind in order for you to
Hear the soul.
just journey in your life.
Julian, it's a great message. And for those of you who want to keep up with Julian Michael, you can log on to his website and read his monthly newsletter.
JulianMichael.net, which will help you understand even more of not only your numbers, but the numbers of the month, as well as the year, the combination. And these are important tools for you to use in your everyday experiences.
Wow, amazing. Thank you so much for being with us and sharing all this love and all this information.